Hello and welcome to Be Powerful with Liz and Lee. It's a new day and we're so glad you're here.
So you can expect to hear candid conversations on what it means to be powerful. Live authentically, live in the midst of ups and downs, productively, and above all else, joyfully.
We are so thankful for you, our community of listeners, and we hope you enjoy today's show. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Lee.
Oh, man.
What are you wearing? Oh, wait, if you're not, you got to watch this on YouTube.
Watch on YouTube to see the fun here.
Like rainbow bright with some lightning strikes.
I'm sorry. Did you not know it was Pride Month?
Right.
Right.
Where's the flag? Upstairs. I'm going to get it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Good.
going to the beach.
We'll hang that for the rest of the month. No, it is a beautiful day. I taught 2 classes. You were at your granddaughter's moving up ceremony.
Exactly.
I decided not to shower. I feel great about it.
I showered and I feel great about it too.
So if we both feel great about it.
We do. And the way we look, we don't look, like we dress in the same, general area. But that's okay. You look great.
I don't think anybody hopes that we're in a uniform.
No. Oh, and just remember the other day,
Uh-huh.
I rolled out of here. I had on my white shorts, black top to go to the mall, which I'm not going to disparage the mall, but it's not my favorite place. And because we were going to Lululemon to find a whole lot more of those little shorts, and you had on the same outfit. And I went, that's just really weird in 14 different ways that I can't even describe. So we're sort of paying attention to not wearing the same clothes, but I think we did really well today. I look really good. I don't know.
I don't care. Anyway, what other housekeeping do we have?
Yes. Well, gosh, we got a lot of response from that last podcast we put out. Whoa. Yeah. Hold the presses. We got a lot of people that want to come on now. I guess that the next time we put out a cattle call, it'll be not a cat. That sounds terrible, but that's a term that we used to use, when I was a model.
When things were never PC.
Yeah, not PC. But yeah. So thank you guys for responding in so many ways. And lots of, I think the way we're going to utilize this call for action that we sort of did on the last podcast about gun control, about abortion rights, about freedoms, is to maybe utilize that in the live podcast as well. You know?
Right. So that's what's on tap this month. We're coming out with this. Where are we? Second week of June. Yep. And then on June 13th, you still have one more chance to sign up before our live podcast. June 13th at the studio, free to come at noon and just hang out with us, have some sips, listen, ask questions, engage. So that'll be really fun. And hopefully that is our first annual or quarterly or monthly, whatever, live podcast.
We'll see.
And
we will see.
We will see.
Yeah.
And then we do have 2 friends teed up for interviews.
Yes, we do.
And we'll be focusing on Pride Month. And I think it's great, no matter what your beliefs are, to always hear other people's experiences.
I agree.
And that's what we're doing. We're speaking to people who have different experiences from us regarding a whole, we haven't had the interviews yet. So we can't wait, but that's what's coming up in our world.
Yeah. And I'm really, in speaking of interviews, I'm excited about the Pride interviews because it's so much fun being gay for a moment, or not for a moment, but to do
we'll
this.
See what tomorrow.
We don't know what Pride Month is, except I think it means celebrating everyone to make them all feel like they're valued. And I think Pride had to become something, because think of how undervalued or really criticized people that have been not heterosexual have been for, probably forever. And so I'm excited to be a part of that. But as we said to our first interview guy that's going to come on, that's a surprise. Y'all going to love him. We simply don't know enough, and we don't feel worthy in some ways.
Right. I mean, we have not been gay or lesbian all our lives. And so we, like I said, have had a very different experience. Right. And so I think, people sharing their story, whatever that is eye-opening and informing, and we're going to have fun too.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We are.
Okay. It is also June. Everybody seems tired, like end of May, and school's
Do you think
getting
that's
out.
Just us? We're tired.
No, everybody I see and talk to at the studio is like, oh my God, when's it going to end? It's a long.
May is a big deal.
Kind of
Mayvember, as they call it.
May, December, whatever.
May, December, right.
Become. And it's interesting because I think celebrating is always so fun and so important because
Yeah.
every milestone that we do get to experience after a lot of grief and heartache
Right.
is to be encouraged, but we're wearing ourselves out a little bit.
Well, we came back strong from COVID.
That's what I mean.
I'm just saying, you said, and I think we all have we're still sort of working on our balance situation.
Yep, exactly.
Because you just want to go, you want to go, you want to go,
Mhm.
and then you're just done. We were sort of done last night. We were just really tired. But hey, I'm a party girl. I like to have a good time, and I think people are they're ready for vacation.
Yeah.
So
for those of you traveling,
mm-hmm.
have fun, be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into too much further,
Yeah.
I want to stay on track. And I'm not going to let you
because I want to get back to the traveling thing.
That's what I want to get back to. So
Can we get back to
we're
traveling?
going to play the game first.
Okay. All right.
Oh, okay. While you think about it,
Okay.
I would like to say one thing.
Okay.
At first, I was going to say,
Okay, go ahead.
This is an anecdote. I really wanted to say thank you because before we started, I noticed that the temperature was lowered. Wow. And then you came in here and I know you realized it was cold.
Mm-hmm.
And before I closed the doors and we actually hit record, it went back up.
Well, and if you're watching on YouTube, she's wearing a sweatshirt. I'm wearing a tank top. You know what?
I get too hot. It's fine.
That's right. We'll be back to naked broadcasting like we did back during COVID.
Okay, your turn to play the game. 2 things. You said you wanted to go.
God, I don't have a question. I have no questions for you.
Okay, then I've got it.
Okay,
ready?
Here we go. I ask you stuff all the time, but I don't ever know what's going to be interesting to viewers or to listeners.
I don't.
Or maybe I do, but anyway, I go. Ask me a question.
See, now it's just a game that I'm going to do it until you just succumb.
I've already succumbed. I'm not enjoying it. Go ahead.
Right, but we're going to do it until you do. Okay, my question is, what are 2 things you wish you'd known earlier?
Earlier than what? Today?
Anything in your life. Earlier as a person, earlier
I
can
earlier.
Name it. Anything.
Oh, easy
as
stuff.
A business owner, as a gay woman. You can fill in the blank if you want.
Okay.
Whatever
what I wish I'd known
you.
Earlier in life, period, as a life lesson, a solid life lesson. Make the phone call. I've said this before. I'm going to say it in the right way, though. I was always afraid because I never knew I knew enough to go and make the next step, whether it was going to be going into a job interview or going to meet a person that I was interested in getting to know, because I was like, I need to know more to present myself in a better way.
Oh.
And as a young person, I was insecure that way. And now as an older person, or even for several years, the best lessons I've learned in life is to make an action happen, not an action plan, but go ahead and push into an action that you don't think you're ready for. And that's how I learned to be pretty good on my feet. I mean, I
love that.
And to really, if you don't know, for instance, what you're getting ready to say, like right now, you just push forward. I mean, you meet people where they are, and I've gone up to people that I'm like so intimidated by their intellect or their notoriety, and it's always somebody that's smart. I'm really intrigued with smart people.
Right.
And so I just babble along until they like me back. So I wish I'd known to have courage to do that.
That's excellent.
And the second thing I wish I'd known was how important paying attention to the gut feelings that changed my life a few years ago were. And that's not just about being with you at all, but the gut feelings that are the ones that tell you what is right and wrong, tell you if you're making a business decision that is correct or incorrect. Your spirit or your God self knows that. All you have to do is listen to it. And it's usually a gut reaction for me. Okay, that's good.
I like that. I think those are 2 really important things. One seemed to be a little more later in life, like more recent, like the second one. But when do you think you learned or kind of could name the first one about just going for it instead of worrying and thinking about it? Was that with starting a business? Was that with having a child?
It was, no, it wasn't having a child. You don't have much choice when you're having a child. The baby is coming. You are not going to go for that. She's coming and this is going to happen. No, as far as, I think it was always about business.
Okay.
I did not believe because I used to be structured. I used to believe if I didn't have a certain degree, which I never got a bachelor's of arts degree, I got an associate degree in dental hygiene.
Right.
I thought that was a big, bad thing for me. So I never thought I was capable, which helps. Guess what?
Right.
If you don't think you're capable, you learn a lot of things on your own in order to push forward and speak to people with some intellect. So it turns out that I was a lot smarter than I thought I was.
Right.
And now I know I'm pretty damn smart. And
so do you consider that book smart or street smart or
both.
Just, yeah.
Because I read myself into a college education. There's a whole lot in this world we can learn besides going into a school or a college. And I believe the world is one of the greatest teachers, but I'm also a real adept listener. The podcasts I listen to are philosophy podcasts. Right. I like to listen to why things are. I don't listen to business ones, and I don't read that much business, but to me, running a business is about relationships with people and knowing who to hire in order to, I'm not going to be the mathematical genius, right? So I'm going to hire the people that can do the things I can't do. So I learned that through just experience and listening to myself and really making it my business to learn about human beings and to read history. If you want to learn everything about what's going on right now, read history. Just it's all happened before.
Right. It just cycles back.
You can see the pitfalls, and whether it's your business, whether it's your world you're living in, you see the pitfalls of the mistakes that have already been made. Why continue being the rabbit on the wheel? The hamster on the wheel, and just doing the same thing
over and over and over again.
So
I think you don't sit and dwell, and I think that's always
laser
been your
focused
personality,
right.
And so I think you probably always had that personality,
right.
And I find it interesting because I don't think you probably grew up thinking I want to be a business owner, an entrepreneur.
Remember, you know what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a housewife and taken care of.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I was born in 54, so whatever. I have no excuses for that, except that, hey, I did that, by the way.
Yeah.
Remember, that's the other thing I would say. You learn that you are so much more magical and capable than you are. I didn't have to, I've been very genuine in my process for whether it was finding a husband and not using people, like falling really in love and getting the right guy and doing all those things and playing tennis at the club every day and having lunch. And it was great until I realized, oh, well, there's a lot more for me.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that, but there's more for me. So I'm very pleased with how the things I imagined happened. So that therefore the way I go through life and still do is the way I see it first. Sometimes I write it down, but if I see it and I start to speak it, it becomes.
Yeah. And then there's that element that I think that you've always noted that you're not afraid of failure, and that that moment when you learn that failure actually breeds more success.
Right. And
how does that work?
It's because I thought I was a failure. So
personally, versus the thing that happened.
So
wow.
I think that's helpful. I mean, I really hope that people don't just build their kids up like, oh, honey, everybody gets the award. I think you need to really struggle and know what it's like to not get the award, to not get the job, to not get the nod from the boss. And I was never feeling worthy enough, or not. It was not worthy. I just didn't think I had what it takes because I figured I needed to learn more.
Right.
And so
is that like rote schooling that wasn't your path?
Yeah, I hated school and I was not good at school, but I was good at personal relationships and I was great at sports and I made great. I was a C student. So the C student is great. I almost worry about the A students. I'm not even kidding. And that's you, right? I'm worried about you.
I'm holding
Tell
this
me about
pencil. I have teacher vibes anyway. And now we're going into this whole schooling thing. And I'm going, I just wanted to be a good student, make good grades. But I think it's an anomaly to have somebody who can do both really well all the time.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
You excelled in school. I mean,
I did.
So but what is that like? I mean, you excelled in school. You made straight A's, or you made great. Yeah, she did. She was killing it. She killed it.
I got to Chapel Hill, and maybe.
But the fact is when you've got that confidence behind you, tell me what that's like.
that always felt good. That was my approval to
Mhm.
myself, to other people, that to me was a marker of success for me. I think it was just in my personality that
Mhm.
doing well in school, there was an adult figure. Okay, I did what they wanted me to do and I did well at it. I also love learning.
Right.
Right. So this is not
But
just
I do too. So why
right.
didn't
But for me, that was the way
that
I
was the
did.
way you did it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the way it did. That the physical, very linear process worked for me. There were things that I really struggled with, like higher level reading comprehension. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a pretty black and white linear learner,
She's
and
also
so it
got
got
you've got a really
difficult.
great memory,
There,
photographic memory.
that helped
Yeah.
literally with the
Wish I
way our
had that.
school system works. So
Mhm.
with test taking, learn this, re-put it back out,
Mhm.
and show me you learned it.
Right.
Do I remember everything? No. Did it teach me good study skills? Yes. For example, in our school system, that was successful, but
Yeah.
there's 1,000 ways to learn,
Right.
and
And I think,
everybody does it differently.
So I think the moral of this story is that for teachers out there, which boy, do they deserve a vacation after this
Yeah,
year,
right.
don't they? That's one thing I just said to the ladies at my granddaughter's class, the teachers, like, y'all have a great summer. You just killed it this year. But, how do you balance that student like me and they used the term in the 60s, well, she's falling through the cracks,
Right.
It's just that I was outside playing dodgeball and basketball and didn't give a damn about
Well, no one
any of the
had
rest
their
of that
thumb
stuff.
on you either. You were
No,
the baby,
no
and they were
one.
like, whatever.
But how do you? And I think that I'm pretty sure that teachers these days have. It depends on the educational system. And I
Yep.
will say this: I was at Charlotte Country Day, which is a
Mhm.
privileged school here in Charlotte, and I love that the middle school head guy, what's he called?
Wow.
Head of school,
Head of school.
got up and said, I want you guys to turn around and thank your teachers because you are a privileged group of people to be in this educational
Mhm.
system. So yeah, the people at privileged schools are probably very balanced out. They're going to pick up a Liz and go, Liz, you're doing a great job out here on the basketball court. Let's roll that into
Yeah.
some math, or however you would do that.
Right.
What if you're in, public school and not a great neighborhood, and
Right.
we've been through all these things we've been through, and what do you do then? I actually think some of these kids that are failing are going to be okay.
Well, right. So
some of them
this
won't.
topic is so big and so huge. So you start with, going back to segregation and busing
Right.
and equality in schools, and that every child, I believe, should have an equal opportunity to learn in a safe, positive environment. And we know that's not happening.
Nope.
And then we have pandemics like COVID, and there's the flight again into private schools and places where your child can get more support.
Right.
And then our public school teachers aren't getting paid well. So is it easy to hire and have bodies? No. I mean, when you have a classroom, so I can only talk about what I know and experienced. And I did get an elementary school education major and taught elementary school in a public school. And then I actually taught at Country Day.
Right.
So I saw both sides of the coin, and it's just the amount of experience and knowledge and bodies you have in the room of different types of leaders and teachers and administrators to reach every child.
But didn't you feel like you had more resources at Country Day than
Absolutely.
you did
That's the point.
other places?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's the goal, I think.
Yeah.
To be able to get to a point where, the funding is not such a problem. The workforce is not such a problem. Kids being able to have food and clothing before they come to school so they can be more successful.
Yeah.
And I think over time, schools have really done a good job in educational systems of trying to balance types of learners and give every learner support. But to your point, you're going to have different outcomes, and you need all the different types of students and graduates
Right.
to provide services in our community. I feel like we're in a stage right now in our communities where it's hard to find employees, period.
Right.
I
wouldn't want to be a school teacher. I wouldn't want to be a janitor. I wouldn't want to go
Right.
into a school ground. And that goes back to the whole terror right
Yeah.
now of the
Many
firearms and
reasons.
camp. It's just all of it. But so, we can't fix everything, but we can be conscious of these
Right.
these issues. And I just hope people out there, beyond all these bigger issues like what you just spoke about, are conscious of people learning different ways, and I think they are.
Yes,
and
I mean, I think the schools
and giving people
Yeah.
a chance that they may not excel so well, in the school building, but.
Well, and I think speaking to probably our demographic, I mean, I think it's that awareness of okay, what can you do?
Yeah.
Where can I be of assistance in my child's school? Where can I be of assistance in a neighborhood school that might need more help where my child doesn't even
Maybe
go?
I should go in and start teaching.
Volunteering. Maybe start with some volunteerism, like grabbing a child and reading with them,
Oh, I do that all the time
any
with my children.
With your children.
Well,
See? But I think anytime time is spent with a child.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
End of situation
and
is positive.
I love that when my daughter was at a public school with her children before they got into a nicer school, which they did during COVID, that she would go and read with. She would just she would tutor a certain person, and it took a while for that to warm up, but it was that personal connection.
Yeah,
just sort of. People just want to they want to be seen, and kids especially. So.
I think that's always what it boils down to.
Yeah.
People want to feel loved and that someone's paying attention to them and that they matter.
Right.
So then let's put that in the overarching of everything we ever talk about and all the last week, the freedoms thing.
Yeah.
Like kids just want to feel like they matter and that we're protecting them. Women just want to feel like they matter and we're protecting them.
Right.
I know there's the other side of the coin. There are people who their financials and the economy mean more to them and they want to feel protected. But I have a hierarchy of what is important in our society. Too. And that's just
And I had a great discussion actually with my ex-husband this morning about that very thing. And he's in the energy business, and I just have total respect for his acumen in that area of work. And so I'm like, the whole side of that agenda is kind of Republican, right? So it's not kind of, it is.
The fiscally
right now,
conservative.
Fossil fuels are very fiscally, it's a thing. We've got the Democratic liberal sides closing down the pipelines. They call that the far left. We got the middle right just saying, look, we just need to get these pipelines. We need some energy into the country. So I said to him, and I'm not going to tell you everything about him but I'm like, how are you going to vote? I mean, are you going to throw women and children under the bus? And it kind of like took him back.
Right.
Because
of course
he's focused on trying to survive in this energy business. And he's like, yeah, you're right. It looks like Roe versus Wade is going to be turned over. And it looks like, kids cannot be safe in schools. I'm like, so to me, all of a sudden it's flipped. I mean, it didn't flip. It's not all of a sudden, but I've always been more socially aware.
Right.
To me, the wealth of this nation is important, that we lift up our lowest ones.
Yes.
And so we can all survive this thing.
Yes. Or else we're all going down together, like just clinging to these material things.
Right. So anyway, the long story short, I mean, we both agreed.
Exactly.
I mean, he was like, yeah, there's 50 Republicans in the Senate that are stopping gun laws. I'm like, are you going to vote for those guys? I mean, where do you, and so he goes, we just need a third. Then we got into all that and kind of chit chat. I'm like, right now it's like the emergency buttons here. It's time to call 911. I mean, women's rights are at stake. Women's freedoms are at stake. Women's health care are at stake. And our children's literal lives are at stake. And if you call yourself pro-life and you don't care about children getting blown away in a school, or even humans in a mall or a church, then that's not pro-life. So there's a lot of important red button issues now for all of us to pay attention to. And if you're a good, solid conservative, call your people, call your senators and your congressmen and tell them these things, or tell them your concerns. Even though we said in the last podcast, it's not time to vote your pocketbook. Right. But I listened to him, my ex-husband today, and he's going, I have to vote my pocketbook. Right. But I still disagreed. Yeah. Well, so it's just tricky.
It is tricky. It is tricky.
Yeah.
So what's the answer to that?
What's interesting is that we got to this point, Lee, because we were asking the first two questions.
I was thinking of that myself.
Yeah.
But I have another question.
Oh, wait.
It's
I
not
already
like an
had
extra.
to. Already
Nope,
had to.
it's related.
Okay.
It's not like a new game
Okay.
question. But I was thinking,
This whole thing's a
wow,
game.
look at the conversation that started.
Yeah.
Because you're so wise in your answers.
Right.
So if you just
I'm
gave
not sure everybody
it a
agrees
chance.
with you, Lee.
So I did want to ask, as part of your point to what you wish you knew earlier, what's the difference between recognition and regret? Like, where do you draw the line between, ooh, wish I knew that, that's too bad? Do you feel that at all?
You do better when you know better. That's the answer to that. And I don't, of course, there are some regrets that you're going to have in your life.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go back and you really dissect them,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost, I have not found a point in my life where I actually did something that was really wrong that I just didn't really know the consequences of that. Right. I might have been told the consequences and did it anyway or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
When you know better, you do better. And therefore, living in the past and in regrets is getting you nowhere.
Yeah.
You can go nowhere. The present place is where you got to live, but you've got to remember the past so that you don't remake those mistakes, and then look to the future, but don't live in the future. And that's where worry and concern comes. Like, oh no, what's going to happen next week when I'm not here and my flowers need watering?
One small example.
Live in the present, make some, and hire your guy, which I did. That is such a kind of a silly little example, but the difference in regret and is just you did the best you could.
Right.
You just you can't live in that. You can't live in that. And if you allow yourself to do that, you will fail.
Mm-hmm.
You will fail life, period. You'll be miserable. Right. You won't be able to have fun times like we do.
Like we do. Well, I guess that's a fabulous time to segue into having fun and traveling. You want to go back to it?
Oh, I forgot all about that.
I know, right? Well, it did make me think too, thinking about the privilege to travel in whichever way it is.
Well, you don't have to have privilege to travel. You can travel.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I know, but
let's
be real.
Let's be real.
Just the opportunity that provides you to get outside of your bubble and your world, speaking about all the different people in the world and all our different beliefs.
Right. And
I think
looking around
and grow.
And seeing, even traveling through the United States, we like to be so divided in our thinking. We are not different from anybody on any side of the spectrum. I love, I'm excited that you and I get to go overseas. And that's great. To me, that just opens my mind up.
Exactly.
And I love hearing what people in another country have to say about, you're an American. And what did you say the other day? You said, let's take some kind of a flag shirt or something with us. I'm like, what? No, I'm kind of nervous about people thinking I'm American right now.
I was cleaning out and I had a beach wrap that was an American flag.
It was American
from the 4th
flag.
of July parade. And you were like, maybe don't take
that.
No.
Yeah. There's something, I'm a little sensitive. I just want to be like
you just
worldly, not nationally.
Right. Oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah. But one thing I was going to say about travel and just practical stuff is, and this is another thing that came out of the talk this morning. I haven't met him yet personally, but I like this middle school guy at the school. He goes, I want you guys to just forget about all the stuff that's going on. And I want you to go have fun. And I want you to just relax and go see your friends and be nice to each other and just have a great time. I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, even if we're going to travel to Europe. We have to do this, we have to do that. What we have to do is remember how lucky we are to be alive and breathing, and we get to go do these things together, me and you. And just enjoy it, which I'm not really talking to us because we know how to do that, don't we?
We do know how to
really
do that.
do.
And I think that just helps, that overall lesson. So what if we quit worrying all the time and go out and present our best selves in the world and be kind to one another and loving, even though there's some big things to physically change in our world, that type of energy is what we need to put forth.
Just being
kind.
I
think we get inundated.
Kindness, love, and courage. Those are the 3 things I try to walk out the door with every single day is kindness, love, and courage. It takes courage to pretty much do anything. These days. But it's hard. I think the hardest part of those 3 is the love. Because to come from a place of love when there's so much violence and fear around you is, that's a challenge. So,
But it's so important.
well, and again, it's where you're coming from in that space.
Right.
Whatever you're going to think about, whatever you're going to do at your workplace or you're with your children or your family, if you come from a place of fear or you come from a place of resentment
Or regret.
then that is going to be the energy you push out there.
Right.
So you may be, and families are really interesting petri dishes for this. You can test it really fast. If you're working from a place of fear, you're going to feel a real quick lashback. If you're working from a place of love, it's not like, oh, honey, I love you.
No.
But you can say, are you going to do the dishes or am I going to do the dishes in a loving way? Or,
well, just a deeper sense of care and love and respect towards you. But you're right. Those daily things.
And just come from love and you'll be attracting love and you'll be attracting the people in your life that resonate to that vibration. Simply, it's just that simple. What you put out is what you get, period. It's just quick too. It's not like some kind of long, what your transfer of energy is quickly done. You're putting out love, you're receiving it back. I've never seen it be any different. If I'm putting out fear, I'm receiving it back. Exactly. I remember having boyfriends and going, oh, I know he's cheating on me or something, and you receive that right back. So
good point.
Yeah.
And kind of recapping everything we've thought about now that I have my teacher pencil.
Can you all see her? You need to go on YouTube and watch her. Lee's got on her rainbow bright outfit and her pencil in her hair, in her bun. Oh my gosh. If you all didn't read my book, I don't know if you need to run out and get it, but I had that teacher in the 3rd grade that had that bun with the
hairnet on top.
Oh no, the hairnet with all the colored dots. I can see that still in my mind, and if I saw that in person, I would jump like a spider.
You'd be scared.
I would be. It's the most terrifying. The most terrifying.
That's where your first fear lies, with your 3rd grade teacher.
My God, she was horrid.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay. So all I was going to say is, in the vein of what I wish I'd knew earlier, and speaking of kids and education and love and understanding and all of that, I think one of the things I learned later as a parent was how patient you have to be as a parent.
Especially a divorced parent.
Well, yes. But as a young parent, it was very challenging for me when I was trying to make my little children do what I think they needed to do. And now I see them and their reactions, and I'm trying and learning that you just have to be patient with who they are in the moment, and that things change. And so it's that energy that you're talking about of how you respond and react.
Right.
And so now that we're at the beginning of summer and all your kids are
here it
home
comes.
and here and there is that level of obviously boundaries and behavior and respect that goes back and forth, but also just patience with one another, with our children, with our partners, with people who disagree with us.
And notice when you are not interacting with your children or people who disagree with you and I don't know a better word than love, because there is the vibration of love or patience, but patience is a branch of love. If you're not interacting in that way, you will get what you ask for. I mean, if you walk in the door and you're pulling your hair out because your day has been insane at work and you expect your kids to just fall in, they're going to be screaming in 2 minutes.
Right.
The minute they see you.
Yeah.
The energy, they pick it up so fast.
And so that's not to say you just roll over your feelings and don't experience and go, well, I have to be patient because everybody else needs me right now.
Take care of yourself.
That's right. You take the stop, you take the breath, you take the walk, you take the whatever.
You take the detour home. Maybe you get out of your car and you take a walk, and then you get back in your car and you come home.
And you come home. Yeah. Lord knows if you're in Charlotte, there's a detour on every street.
Yeah.
So you can take your time.
Yeah.
But I think that's important. It was just one thing I kind of wanted to say.
Well, I think that's good, because I think we're all sort of, we're just tired. Like you said at the very beginning of the podcast, we're tired from all the hell in this world, the war and the shootings and the, people that think they can just, run women into buses and put them in the back and put them in a cave somewhere and make them like they were 500 years ago.
How does she really feel?
Yeah. There's that. See that whatever those things there are that weigh on you, they're heavy.
Yeah.
And so we've got to, what is it the Buddha said? You've got to be the lightheartedness. You've got to, only the lighthearted, you've got to lighten it up.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you do that? You know that there's not anything you can do but be in that present right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that presence right now is being with yourself, letting all that inner energy that sometimes that for me is anger and heat. I mean, there's a color very, very bright red in me that flows. And I simply breathe it in and breathe it out and keep it in a place that I know is an area that I need to work through that energy to make positive change. But if I react to it, I'm just going to be a mess.
Right. Well, I think that's the boiling point of the divisiveness that we might be incurring or experiencing in the world. So listening to you be like, the ABCD that drives you crazy might not drive somebody else crazy.
It's not.
And so knowing that you can't control somebody else, so you may try to, deal with your own issues.
You can barely control yourself, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So learning to take care of that first is far more important, I think, to bridge any divisive gap. Because if we come with the red flames of anger on this side and that side, nothing happens.
So we're going to go to the end of the summer. We're going to work through our love and patience.
We're going to go through this.
We're going to watch.
What are we doing through this?
I'm already just.
We're just going to get through it.
No, we're not. No, we're excited. It's our good time.
That was funny, but you said we're just going to get to the end of the summer.
My redness just came in. I have that red energy that comes in, and the red energy was just like, in 3 weeks, Roe versus Wade's going to be flipped. But so now y'all, and
we know your hot topics.
We know that's my hot button, and so I'm just going to roll in with the energy that is change through power, and true power comes from love. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be easy. That means I'm going to be focused and laser sharp.
There we go.
But it's going to come straight from love.
Okay. Good for you. I'm really glad. I'm going to enjoy the ride and let y'all know how she does. Oh God. All right. So everybody.
Yes.
Take care.
Yes.
Of yourself.
Well, wait a minute. We're going to be right back next week. But
I just mean today.
Yeah. Today.
Tomorrow. One day at a time.
It's the beginning of June. I hope you're going on vacation.
Yeah. Let's give them some Liz Hilliard hot bicep tips for working out on the road.
Okay. Well, remember, I don't love to work out when I'm on real vacation, but it is fun to do this. Like we walk on the beach and sometimes we'll do some push-ups. Sometimes.
You like to do cartwheels?
I do like to do cartwheels. Do the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Do the things that, I used to do as a kid. I mean, if Clary and I don't do cartwheels at the beach, it's been a real failure. I mean, it's been like, but go have fun. Get in the water. Get in the ocean. Get in the water if you can get in the water. For your workout tips are to enjoy life when you're on vacation and to come back and work out when you want to.
There you go.
And to come to Hilliard Studio Method because we know what we're doing.
My tip is do a plank every day. And if you need a little more hit a set of push-ups.
Wait a minute. I disagree with that.
I don't.
Okay. Mine is
you have yours. I have
If you
mine.
want a full body.
Wait, you just said mine is push-ups.
Can I speak here? I feel like if you do push-ups, you're going to work every part of your body.
Right. That's why I said do them.
You said plank.
Yeah. And then I said, if you need a little more oomph, do some push-ups.
You need to push-ups every day.
Well, then we totally agree.
Okay. So let's back up. My goal every day this summer is to do 100 push-ups.
You just went from you don't work out on vacation to 100 freaking push-ups a day.
Yeah, but that's on a regular day. Maybe not when I'm down at the beach, but I'll do some on the beach. So I did. I know that it sounds like I'm flipping around here.
You are.
But the truth is if you want to feel good and have every muscle in your body working actively and in a safe way, then do a safe push-up. Do an HSM push-up. We know what we're doing. We'll show you how to do it. Yeah.
I mean, I think if you're craving it, that's the great thing to do. If your body
Nobody craves a push-up.
I do.
Okay.
No, there's times on vacation where I'm like, ugh, that's enough. And I'm like, let's get the blood pumping. The point is get your blood pumping.
Yeah.
Go on a walk, swing your kids in the air, swim with them in the pool, and be grateful that you have the body to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. And the breath in your lungs and the people in your life. and the beautiful day that you have. So let's go forward.
Aren't you glad we played that game? Damn it.
That game was our podcast, right? Yeah, we kind of came on just kind of fun and cold today. It's like, we don't know what we're talking about. Let's just get on here.
Well,
last time we got so much, flack from the other one we did. Who knows?
Who knows? Are you good?
I'm good.
All right. I'll see you next time.
I love you.
I love you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to us today, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can now find our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. If you liked it, please share, rate, and review. We love 5 stars. And we hope you'll work out with us online or in studio at HilliardStudioMethod.com.